Hello and welcome to Naturally Renee. Right now we're going to start off this video with our Valentine's Day theme. So earlier I put up a video, part 1 is going to shop at Home Goods to look for dishware and to see what you might like to use for your setting if you don't have anything at home. But you can use what you have. It's just maybe some new cloth napkins, or just freshen up something that you have, maybe with something else brand new. Okay, so just think outside the box. You don't have to get everything brand new. So we want to save money for Valentine's Day. We don't want to just go crazy and spend $300, $400 on a meal. So you can do a really nice dinner at home, set everything nice, set the ambiance, and I'm going to show you how. So right now what I did was I just took a this is a cloth napkin, folded and gone straight across. So that's on top of the placemat. Then I placed a plate, and this is another cloth napkin in a solid color. So you want to do layers. Then I have gold forks and gold silverware, and whatever you have. Just if you want to buy some new silverware and update your silverware, or if you want to use what you have, that's fine too. So I just want to show you ideas what I look at. There's a small glass here for either your water or your spirits, whatever it is you're having. And you should have an extra water glass on the table. And I like to do levels. So I place this wood. It's pretty much, I guess you would call it a chopping block type of thing, but it's got a nice little lift to it. So I put that there, and just to give levels. So you want to do layers and levels where you can. Just makes it look much nicer. Okay. And then I have a plate here for our bread, and then we're going to do a pesto sauce with some virgin olive oil, and we're going to have that in there. So you have your bread, the olive oil, pesto, and we're going to be making lemon ricotta. No. We're making lemon piccata chicken. Piccata chicken with pasta. So that's what we're going to do, and I'll show you how to plate everything and how it should look at the end. Okay, so this is part 2. First part was taking care of our looking for what we want at Home Goods to replace some things, to just freshen it up. Now, if you're going to cook for your man, or you're cooking for your woman, or you want to cook together, this makes it really nice, especially if you cook together. So I'm going to show you how to do things nice at home. Okay, so the next time we'll see how everything's coming along. Okay, so now we're going to talk about our ingredients for our, I call it lemon piccata chicken. Piccata. It's Italian. And I'm going to show you everything we're going to have for dinner tonight. So I'm going to use 3 chicken breasts, split them in 2, so we'll have 6 pieces. And we need about a half a cup of all-purpose flour, 1 whole lemon, 6 garlic cloves, capers. They're hard to find in the store. You might have to ask the manager where to find capers, but they're there. We're going to use Parmesan cheese, fresh Parmesan cheese. I'm going to grate it. We're going to need, we're having a side of asparagus. You're going to need 2 cups of chicken broth. We're going to use about a little under a cup of wine, white wine. And we're going to have some bread, and we're going to have some pesto, and it's going to be really, really good. So our seasonings are salt, let's see, guys, salt, pepper, we're going to grind it ourselves, and garlic. Okay. So this is pretty much our ingredients. We have our pasta. If you watched part 1, I got the pasta from Home Goods today. So I'm gonna try this pasta because it says with lemon. So what I'm making should be perfect with that, okay? If you can't find that, use angel hair pasta, okay? No problem. So let's get started on getting our chicken ready. At first, I kind of like to hit it a little bit because it is, you know, chicken breast is usually a little tough. It's not as tender. So I like to just tenderize it a little bit. So I'm going to do that on all the pieces. Then I'm going to cut them. After I finish doing this, I'll get them cut. Okay, they've all been tenderized a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and cut them in half, long ways, okay? So you kind of want to just make sure you're kind of in the middle of it. You want to get it as even as possible of a cut. So just kind of gauge with your hand a little bit. You'll see where you kind of know where you're going a little. And this might be, yeah, it's okay. There we go. Not too bad. Pretty good. I took a little time to cut off some of the fat before I put the chicken on here. So you might want to do that too. Clean your chicken and cut away any excess fat. This is going to be our first Valentine's dinner. It's an idea for Valentine's to not go out and spend a whole lot of money on dinner. I mean, I see people spend $300-400 on a meal for dinner. I think that's a little crazy. I do. So if you cook together, it's Valentine's Day, right? What's more romantic than cooking dinner together? I think that's pretty nice. So if you get something like, this is an easy dish, but it's so tasty, so good, and it feels like you're at a restaurant. When you're eating, you're like, oh my gosh, you know, because it just feels like you're at a restaurant. That's how good everything tastes. With the garlic and the butter, you know, it's just really nice. So we've got, see the thin pieces now? There we go. So we have 6 pieces, and now I'm going to season these pieces. Okay, let's get some of these pieces all seasoned up. I'm just going to take my time with this, get them seasoned, and first we're going to start with our salt and pepper and our garlic powder. Okay, so let's go here, this off of here. Stays in pretty good sometimes. All right, so a little pepper. We're gonna season the flour as well. So we'll see how, I'll show you how we get everything all done up. We're gonna fry the chicken in, it's a light fry in peanut oil. So have that on hand. If you don't have peanut oil, canola or vegetable is fine as well. But my preference is peanut oil. So some salt on here. So like I said, if you're, want to save a little money on Valentine's Day, just try this meal. Cook this one. You're going to love it. Yeah. Some garlic powder. I don't know. I just have a thing about spending so much money on dinner. It's crazy. I don't know. I just have a thing about that. So, let's see here. Some more salt on this side. And we don't need a whole lot. There's some kind of flavor that's going to come out with the garlic and everything that we put in here, and the wine and the butter. So you don't have to go crazy with your seasonings like you would if you were frying chicken wings or something like that. So you don't have to go nuts. says. Okay. That's all seasoned. Now we're going to season our flour. I don't think I put any garlic on the side. If I did, you can't put too much garlic powder. Not in my opinion. Garlic is so good. And we're going to use butter. I always use grass-fed butter. That's my favorite kind. It's a big difference in the flavor of your food. So it's a little investment, but it really does go a long way as far as your flavor, okay? So let's get our chicken. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put my oil on first. Hold on, let me get my oil on. Okay, I have my oil preheating right now. And we're gonna go ahead and season up this chicken. Okay, let's put some Parmesan. We're going to put the fresh Parmesan we talked about. We're putting that in our flour. Okay, so we're gonna just grate that up. You can do it on a finer side. That's a little bit bigger. I'm gonna do it on the finer side, so it's just a little smaller pieces. It's gonna be about a half a cup by the time I'm done of fresh Parmesan cheese in our flour. I'm gonna season flour just a little bit too. Get that. Okay. Some salt and pepper in the flour. Now, you want to cook everything kind of one at a time because you want everything to come out good. The pasta doesn't take long. Matter of fact, I'm going to turn the water on now, so it'll just be hot. We'll put it in there, cook it about, that's probably going to cook about 5 to 7 minutes. It's going to be crazy, that fresh pasta. So, just do one thing at a time. If you try to do too much at one time, something doesn't come out right. It happens to me sometimes, and I'm like, the one thing didn't come out the way I wanted. So, because I did too many things at one time. So just take your time. This meal can sit, because once we fry this up, once we get this chicken frying, and we take it out, and then we have to get our sauce ready and everything, and then put it back in. When it's simmering, start your pasta. And I'll show you how to do that, okay? Just one thing at a time, so you don't make any mistakes. So let's start getting this floured up here. It's got that cheese, and we're just gonna fry this golden brown, just a nice light golden fry. It's not like you're making really, you are frying chicken, but it's a little different as far as how it's gonna look at the end of the day. You can eat it like this by itself, honestly, if you wanted to. Capers are, well, I can't even say they have a lot of flavor, but they do have a unique flavor. It's not overwhelming. If you ever had chicken piccata at a restaurant, I've had it at a few restaurants before, and I always enjoyed it. And I always enjoy it with pasta. This isn't one recipe I would make with rice. I would make this with pasta always. So, we got 2 pieces here. Now our chicken is all battered and ready to go and get fried up, okay? Let's get that going. Okay, I have about uh, 3/4 cup to maybe a cup of oil in here. About 3/4 cup of peanut oil. We're gonna go ahead and think it's ready to go ahead and get our chicken going. Okay, and I like to leave as much flour on it as possible, so I'm just gonna kind of pick it up, nice swoop like this into the oil. That's what you want to hear. You guys, this is so good. This is really a good dish. Really good. Really good. I hope you guys enjoy it. Make it for your boo thing on Valentine's. Be impressive. This is a dish called Marry Me Chicken. And I know why it works. Just put it like that. It's so good too. But this is a nice Italian dish with the capers and the butter and the lemon, the pasta, and the wine. So we're gonna go ahead and get that brown on one side, then I'm gonna turn it over. I'm gonna probably let that cook about, we'll set it for, I have to set the timer for, let's do 4 minutes and see where we are in 4 minutes on one side. And if we need to leave it a little longer, we'll leave it a little longer. Okay, I think we're ready. Okay. Sit here. Yep. Just a golden brown, just a light fry. That's how she looks. Yep. So we did, that's why I need to cook a little longer. I'm gonna have an even heat here. I'm gonna let that one side cook a little bit longer. Even that piece, well, that's fine. Okay. And that hot oil. Okay, we'll let that finish up. Okay, we are done frying our chicken on both sides. We got all pieces done. You want it golden brown, however long it takes. Every pan is different. I noticed that it depends on what pan I use, how long it's going to take. Okay, so just cook it till it's golden brown on both sides. All right, so let's see what we're going to do with our, so we got some oil in here. Let's see. The pan is hot. I have the water boiling already for the pasta, so I'm going to drop that in there in a minute. So let me see what I have. Some drippings here. This is all the good stuff, but I want to take some of this oil off. Okay, we want to leave all these drippings in here, leave all that in here, but I'm just going to pour up a little bit of oil. Okay, so it's just a little oil left in the pan. And now we're going to add our garlic cloves. I chopped the garlic already. So this was 6 garlic cloves. Remember? Put that in here. It smells heavily in here. Between the garlic and the Parmesan and the chicken. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. Now we're just going to deglaze the pan with some wine. It's going to just take all that off the bottom. So that was about 3/4 of a cup of wine, white wine. And we're deglazing the pan. Look how everything comes right up off the pan. You see how that is now? Everything was kind of stuck, and now everything's kind of smooth. That's called deglazing a pan. So now we're going to add our chicken broth to this. I started out with 2 cups. I'm going to see how much I want to do. That's 1 cup. chicken broth. I think that's going to be enough. 1 cup. We're going to add some butter. It's probably about 2 tablespoons of butter. 2 tablespoons. 2 nice tablespoons. I like lots of butter. Because this is going to be the sauce for your chicken and your pasta. So you want plenty of sauce. So we're going to let all this warm up and we're going to let it get to a nice simmer. I'm going to add a little bit of garlic powder to that. Even though we have lots of garlic in there, add a little garlic powder and a little salt. So we have, you know, everything. I like to layer my flavors. If you've seen any of my other videos, I like to layer my seasonings. And like I said, we're getting ready for Valentine's Day. I'm going to probably make a fish dinner. This is a Italian chicken dinner. I might do a fish dinner and something with beef, maybe steak. We'll see. Okay, we're at a nice simmer. And I'm going to take my lemon, I'm going to rub, you know, just get as much lemon juice as I can out of this by taking it palm of my hand and rubbing it and just squeezing it like that before I cut into it. Because we got a nice simmer going right now. So we want to add our lemon. I usually cut my lemon from the bottom and just squeeze. Let me see, I want to make sure I get no seeds in here. So I'm going to hold my hand here and let it drain it. Just to make sure we are good. Squeeze as much as you can of that lemon. All this is going to bring out all this flavor. 1 seed. Right here. Okay. All right, we're at a simmer here. Now I'm going to go ahead and add our capers. It's about, you don't have to use a lot. You can use a lot or a little, whatever. This is really up to you at this point, the capers. But this is about, I would say, a 1/4 cup of capers, a little less than a 1/4 cup of capers. Put that in there. And now we're going to put our chicken back in here. My hands are clean, very clean. I wash after everything I do because I cook with love. Been cooking for my family for 37 years. So I cook with love. Get all that in there. And I'm not going to let this go to waste. This goes in there too. Every little bit of flavor. All the good stuff. We're going to let that simmer. I'm going to put a top on that. Now I'm going to drop my noodles in my boiling water here. I don't know if you can see my boiling water over here. Let's see. I'm gonna just see my boiling water. I'm gonna drop my noodles in here. So these came in like these little. This is like a serving size, I would say. So how many you're cooking for? Just put that whole thing in. That's pretty neat, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm cooking for 5 tonight. So 5. So we got 5 in there. Let's see how that works out. We're going to go ahead and let that cook, and we're going to go ahead and get our asparagus. Get our asparagus on as well. Okay, I went ahead and cut up some of the asparagus beforehand, but I want to show you how to do it. You cut it on an angle. All this bottom part should come off. All that. So, and I cut it on an angle like that. That's how I cut my asparagus. So that's what you want to do. Get all your asparagus cut. And we're going to steam it and blanch it. And that's the way you get it crispy, not soggy. And I'm not even gonna kid you. Sometimes it's soggy. Sometimes I'm like, what happened? This is one of the most, this has been one of the most challenging vegetables I've ever worked with. Not even kidding. Because I don't like soggy asparagus. Nobody does. I like it a little crisp and tender on the inside. So it's really a balancing act. I found it to be. So maybe somebody has a tip for me on how to always have it crispy. So I spent some time with my nephew, and he just said, well, we're gonna just cook it and then blanch it, and it stops cooking. Once you put it in that cold water, it stops cooking. All right, so let's get all this over to the stove too. Okay, we have our asparagus in our pot. It's a pan, kind of shallow pan with a little water, top on, and I have it on number 7. I turned my chicken down. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit more, so it should be just a slow simmer. It shouldn't be like boiling. Just have it a nice little simmer at this point. Okay, so we're gonna turn it on low because everything's done. Now we're just getting it to where all the chicken is kind of soaking up the juices as well. Okay, we already have our pasta in here. I'm gonna go ahead and cook this asparagus real quick, and we're almost done with dinner. Okay guys, the chicken piccata is all ready. I made the plate so that we can just, ooh, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? You can make this at home. It's restaurant style. Like, it really doesn't get better than this. It doesn't. I'm gonna show you what to do with your pesto. So you get some pesto. Make sure, I get in a jar. I don't make my own fresh pesto. Some people make their own. Like I said, I cook fast. I don't like things that are gonna take a lot of time. So you wanna put some pesto in a ramekin, something like that. Put a little pesto in there, good amount. That's good for 2 people. And after you do that, you want to put in some olive oil. We're gonna just put some olive oil in there. And this is, you're gonna dip your bread in this. This is where you dip your bread. Okay? And we're gonna stir that up. You want your bread warm too. We're gonna add a little salt to that. And mix that in a little bit. And this is it. This is lemon chicken piccata. And this is a really good alternative to eating out and spending all that money for Valentine's Day. So you can cook together, cook for yourself, cook for one another, whichever way you want to do it. But let me tell you, it really doesn't get better than this. It just doesn't get better than this. So I hope you guys try it, and I hope you love it when you do try it. And please let me know. I would love to hear back from you all. All right? Bon appetit. Happy Valentine's Day.